Lights, camera, action.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome.
Seems all good. The games we hate, movies we hate, movies we don't hate, and fictional characters we love to go.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the 5th ever episode of the Everyday Centaur Podcast, the podcast where we find our friend Dave from dimensions away, a centaur, to bring fun news and information for us to talk about to you every week. I am one of your hosts, Preston Harsey, along with my co-host, Bert Weathersby. Today we got a few fun things to talk about. The first thing we're going to get into is some video games. This is going to be a little bit of a nerdier episode than the last couple, because we don't have a third person with us to keep us from nerding out. So we're going to start off with some brand new news. No Man's Sky release date. I didn't write down the release date, so...
The release date has been announced to be June 21st, hopefully 2016.
And this is after a very long bout of coming first quarter 2014, coming last quarter 2014.
The first trailer, wasn't it like 2013?
It was during the release event for the... Or no, it was E3.
Yeah.
The first E3 with the PlayStation 4 and the Xbox One, where they were announced.
Announced 3 years ago.
It was showed at PlayStation's
3
conference.
years in the making.
Yeah, as some kind of exclusive.
In a world
where No Man's Sky never releases. It's been a really long time. I know certain people who bought a PS4 just for No Man's Sky because they thought it was going to be out this year, and they were very disappointed.
Next door neighbor.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Along with the release date came some other news, namely prices and stuff like that. I know a lot of people, namely me, I kind of thought this was going to be a smaller, more compact kind of indie game that's just running off this random engine.
Game, Hello Games, wasn't it like $10 or something?
It was Joe Danger. Now, let's be very, Joe
Completely
Danger...
different game.
Yeah, that's not a very... I mean, it's... Whenever I listen to interviews and stuff by them, which I just listened to a recent interview by Kevin from the Kind of Funny on their PlayStation I Love You podcast. He actually did an interview with Sean Murray, the creator of No Man's Sky, and he said that all those little games and stuff were just like practice for this. This is what they've been wanting to do. And they said you have to do some of those crappier little bitty games to be able to get the rapport you need to make something like this. Yeah.
You go back, not that any of you ever will.
You
watch
shouldn't.
Our first
you
episode.
Shouldn't watch that episode.
Oh my gosh, yeah.
This still isn't
Haters
great.
gonna hate.
Yeah, we're getting there. We're getting better. Along with this news, standard edition is going to be $59.99. So that's the regular price of a video game.
18 quintillion planets.
The special edition of the game goes for $70, which is not that bad for a special edition. I went on Amazon, was able to get it for $64 with their if you have a Prime membership, every pre-order is I think 20% off. So that's definitely the way to go if you want to do that. However, I looked just before we started the show, and it looks like the limited editions are sold out. I got my hands on one, though, and we're going to do an unboxing when that comes.
I've learned my lesson about pre-ordering with Star Wars, so I'm just going to wait this one out.
Yeah, that was kind of a disappointment.
Mm-hmm.
We talked about that.
Yeah, in a later but yeah, you're not going to watch it. I don't know why I'm bringing it up.
The limited edition that I'm getting, though, is going to come with the steel book, an art book, a comic, and then some in-game stuff, which I don't know what this stuff's going to be or how it's going to work in the game yet. I haven't shown very much, but it's going to include a photon core ship boost. Now, from the information that we got from whenever this thing first came out, you're going to start off on a planet. Everyone starts off on their own planet. You have to build some kind of spaceship using crafting tools and stuff like that to get off the planet. I'm guessing either this is a photon core you get at the beginning to help you take off your first planet, or it's just a better core whenever you've built your ship. I don't know what that is. Trader charisma bonus. We've known for a while that one of the main features in this game, they say that you can go around and never kill anything. It just stay in the air, collect resources, and just barter with people, trade. And it comes with a trader charisma bonus, so I guess that'll be cool. A bolt caster blueprint. Now, When they say blueprint, that probably means I'm going to have to go all over the universe to find the stuff to make it.
It's going to tell you what you need to make it. You're not going to have it.
And then, of course, the theme, which is not much. However, there's something I did want to talk about with you. I wasn't sure if you were aware of this information. I got it from the interview, the Kind of Funny interview. There's not going to be any regular multiplayer in this game.
Yes, I saw, if you go online, here, I'll gesture, maybe I'll put a picture up here.
Pictures.
If you go online in the PSN store, it says online play optional. So what's that about?
So from what I got, it is one thing that they strived very hard for. Sean Murray said this in the interview. They could have gone for an all-online approach. If they went for the all-online approach, they could add in like, oh yeah, I'm a fast travel over to your planet and do this, this, and that. But they made it very clear, and this kind of goes with the announcement in 2013, whenever Xbox said, oh, our console is going to be always online. Everyone was like, fuck that. They have basically made a game where you put the disc in and it'll run completely. They're trying to make a full game on a disc, which I don't think has happened since PlayStation, like 2. Every game comes out with this huge update. Now, I'm sure they will have constant updates to the game and stuff like that, but they're saying they're shipping a full game, which is kind of
the online play optional mean?
Okay.
I know when you find something, you discover it, you can make any name up for it. If someone finds that creature or that planet, it's going to be there. So is that the optional thing?
I think the optional thing is literally going to be a button in the menu where you click online, and then all the stuff that you're finding and collecting is being uploaded.
Yeah.
I think that's the difference, is whether or not your stuff gets uploaded.
Oh, okay.
I don't think that you're going to run into other people.
Kind of disappointing, but whatever.
Like I said, I would have absolutely loved for this to be a game where I could ride around and hang out with my friends in space. That's the kind of game I've always wanted, and Star Citizen is probably going to be that, but that game is a whole nother mess itself that we'll talk about on another day. Yeah. So I guess going on, we're going to talk a little bit about...
Wait. Did you hear that they've added NPCs to the game?
I heard a little bit about that. I didn't read very much into it.
Like, all the trailers I've ever seen never showed, like, you the character, walk up to someone else. But they've added NPCs to the game where you can trade with them, you can kill them, you can do whatever. But when you first meet them, you will not understand what they're saying at all. They have their own languages and thousands of different dialects, from what I understand. I read this last night, and through going to different planets and meeting different people, finding different artifacts are a big thing, you will start learning their dialect. So I don't know if it's like a...
Well, that's very interesting because, I'm sure you didn't play it because you don't have an Xbox, and neither do I, but I've heard about it. Tomb Raider, that came out last year, had a kind of thing like that where you would find documents and stuff like that you couldn't read. But by going through certain tombs and reading certain like inscriptions on the wall, you would learn that language,
figure it out,
and can go back and solve those puzzles.
Does it just eventually turn into English, or do you?
It just turns into English.
Okay, yeah, that's what I'm wondering. I think that's the way No Man's Sky gonna go.
I mean, you would assume.
Yeah. Otherwise, I don't want to sit there and learn a made-up language.
I'm really excited for this NPC stuff, though. Especially now that you've told me that, and now that I'm looking back over like what these bonuses are, the fact that there is going to be a charisma bonus. I guess that means that there's going to be some sort of RPG elements to this game, like I guess heavy RPG elements. I would like that.
And he keeps saying this game should be beautiful on VR. So I'm thinking, they haven't released PSVR release date.
There is going to be an announcement at GDC, which I believe is next week. I think it's the 15th is whenever they're announcing more information on PlayStation VR. That should include a release date and a price point. Speaking of VR price point, what's the most you'd pay for a PlayStation VR?
I wouldn't pay any more than the console itself.
$400.
Yeah.
I feel like that. I feel like that is fair.
If they ask more than that, then I'll be like pass until it comes down, because it will come down, because no one's going to buy it for more than that.
Well, you say that, but then you got the Vive that's going for $1,500. The Oculus is going for $700, and that's not including the PCs they have to buy just to run those things.
It's marketed to different people.
It's true. And this would be the more casual gamers VR headset. I don't know. I feel like they go. I think $400 is as much as the casual gamer is willing to pay for a new piece of hardware. Yeah, I feel like that showed with the Xbox One.
Yeah.
Uncharted 4 multiplayer. They're having a stress test this weekend, so hopefully, if we get this up today or tomorrow, this might help some of you out because you can go and download it. It's kind of hidden. You have to go into the PlayStation Store and type in Uncharted all the way out, and then scroll down till you see something that says Uncharted 4 stress test. Then click multiplayer and then download it. It's like kind of a secret combination to get to this multiplayer beta. I've downloaded it and I'm playing it the second I get home.
Not really a stress test, is it?
Well, it's running for I think 2 or 3 days.
Yeah, but why is it hidden? I'm assuming they're calling it
well,
a stress test to
it's
see
out
if their
there.
servers can handle it.
I think what it is they're assuming the amount of people that will find out about this is probably the number of people that are going to be out playing the game.
On day one.
And I mean this because if you were on any kind of gaming website, you would have heard of this. I got my information just scrolling through the IGN feed. I believe Kotaku also has the instructions of how to reach it. So the information's out there, and I feel like they're just trying to get... They want a lot of people on the server, but they don't want to crash it on the first day.
Guess what? We're going to have to push back another 2 years. You
Oh,
crashed
dear
our
God.
server.
You know they already pushed it again.
Yeah, 2 weeks.
Yeah. And they say it's because they want to have enough.
May 10th.
So they say they're done with the game. They're just trying to
already
stockpile copies of it so that whenever they send it out, there's enough to go everywhere.
It's already gone gold or whatever.
Yeah.
Golden, I don't know the term.
Yeah, going gold is they usually do that a month before the game ships out. Usually, or sometimes earlier if they're confident in their work. And it went gold quite a while ago.
Yeah.
I guess they're just working on all the little tidbits.
For what I read, said that this pushback of 2 weeks is strictly for manufacturing the disc because they just think they're going to have such a high demand. Maybe they will. I don't know.
Why not just go digital? PlayStation Plus games this month. I do not remember. No. It's Galak-Z and Nom Nom Galaxy, I think.
That was last month.
Okay, so it's
Galak-Z is a free-to-play one, and Broforce or something?
Oh, Broforce. Okay, so I played both of these. You've played neither. Galak-Z is really cool. I bought this game on my own a few
What kind of game
months
is it?
back. It is a, you know the term roguelike?
Sure.
Okay, a roguelike is a game in which, if you ever played XCOM?
No. Strategy.
Roguelikes usually involve a game mechanic called permadeath, which means whenever you've reached the end of your 3 lives, you start off at the beginning or something like that. Galak-Z runs on this. You start off with, I think, 3 bars of health and 2 shields.
So it's like Galaga or...
Well, let me explain this a little bit better. It is a...
You're flying around in space, right?
Yeah, it's a little bit difficult to describe, but essentially they have these... They're not technically randomly generated, but it's almost like dungeons, I guess, if I'm trying to put this in the terms of a regular roguelike. You're going through these and you're finding upgrades and enemies to fight. The idea behind the game is you are in the ATAC, which is a ship that your character, the last human pilot alive, steals on his way out of the Empire attack that killed everyone else. You meet up with this other ship that is left from that fleet, and that's where is your main menu and your base of operations. The game takes place in 5 seasons, so there's like season 1 has about 3 or 4 missions in it, season 2 has about 3 or 4 missions in it, and so forth all the way to season 5. If you die on season 4, which with me that's about, if I played for 3 hours straight and didn't die, that's how far I could get. If you die on that, you start back off at season 1.
Frustrating.
It took me a week to beat season 1, just because learning the because you have forward boosters and backwards boosters, and then you have all these different like you can get bounce shots for your laser beams, and you can shoot 3 out.
It bounces back and kills you.
It bounces all over the place. Surprisingly, they don't kill you. That was pretty great. But the permadeath part is what really keeps you going, because you're just like, or actually, it actually stops me from playing, because I'll be playing, I'll be like, I'm too tired. I'm going to die on this mission if I keep going. It's really fun. One of the, I think Giant Bomb said they should win an award for best pause screen. If you ever played video games on an old CRT TV whenever you were a kid, you remember like the blue screen menus and stuff, like adjusting like light and color balance. Whenever you hit the start button, it's like a VCS just paused. Like you see the like blur lines up in the top and the bottom, and they're like scan lines and stuff like that. And you go into the like controller settings, and it's just the blue diagram. It's really cool. It's about honestly my favorite part of the game.
Pause screen, ladies and gentlemen.
Broforce is really cool. I wish I had pulled up a name of all the Broforce characters. But one of the ones that I can't forget is Brobocop. Have you heard anything about Broforce?
No.
Okay, so Broforce is they say it's the least funded, most overpowered team of heroes ever. And essentially they have, I'm going to try to list off all the characters I remember. RoboCop, Chuck Norris, Rambo, Bruce Willis's character from Die Hard.
John McClane.
They have Blade, but they call him Braid because everyone has bro in their name. They have at least a couple more. Bromando, which I think is G.I. Joe. Like, stuff like that.
Yeah.
I haven't even seen half the characters. I'm sure they got... Oh, yeah, the CEO of PlayStation is in there. Shuhei Broshida.
Interesting.
Yeah, it's pretty funny. If you've ever played Super Time Force or something like that, it's very similar to that gameplay style where you're just running in, rushing through these missions. A lot of them are very short. It's a very fun game to just sit down and play for 5 minutes. Another game that I have played this week is called Life is Strange. I've been playing this with my girlfriend, and I've been searching so hard to find a game that like she can really attach to and like see like really enjoy a game as much as I can enjoy a game. And I think this is the game. I think she played it for about an hour and a half last night, just playing through the first chapter. And it was so great because all the things that I miss as a casual gamer, as somebody or somebody who plays games all the time, I go into a game and I'm like, oh, this thing, this is important. I'll go do this and this and this. And she took her time in every level, observed every single piece of information, and got a lot more done than I was able to. Which I was like, oh, I didn't see that. Oh, I didn't see that. So if you're somebody who has never played a game before, or you're interested in playing a game, Life is Strange is really cool because you play as this college student. I think she's a college student. It might be some kind of weird high school. But it's a photography school, and she discovers she has the ability to rewind time. And a lot of crazy stuff happens. You rewind time and start changing your decisions and stuff like that. One last topic on the video game side of things. This week, Oculus co-founder Palmer Luckey said...
Palmer
Luckey.
Is that name made up?
No, I actually kind of thought it was the first time I heard it too. But
perverted.
Yeah, this is the guy that came up with the Oculus, with the guy who had to deal with all those lawsuits whenever all that stuff started coming through a few years back. The Oculus has gone through one hell of a process to exist. But he said, and this has been a heated topic of the week for people who like getting upset about things. Palmer Luckey said that Oculus will come to Mac when they make a good computer.
Oh.
Which I saw a lot of memes that were like, shots fired, hashtag, like all this other kind of stuff. And whenever you read more into it, what he means by that, I think he elaborates that Macs are decent computers, but they're not really customizable. They don't come out with high-end versions of their things. They have nice screens, and they have smooth operating system, but they're not made to have the amount of processing power and RAM that is required for the Oculus. I think they said that the $2,500 Mac Pro still technically doesn't have the GPU requirements, the minimum GPU requirements for the Oculus.
Microsoft Surface.
What?
Just kidding.
I was like, you can use the Oculus on that? Oh, dang. No, but they do have other VR things for, I believe that the what is it, the Samsung Gear, or is it the HTC? I don't. Oh, anyways, that's for people that have phones and don't have a high expensive computer or a PlayStation 4. Oh, one last thing, actually, now that we're talking about virtual reality, I wanted to bring up an augmented reality topic. Have you heard anything about the Hololens as of late?
The what?
Hololens. Now, this is Microsoft's augmented reality, very different from virtual reality. If you haven't seen the demo for this thing, go on YouTube and look up Minecraft HoloLens Demo 2013. It is one of the coolest things. I'm sure you've seen that. HoloLens, you put it on, they look like glasses, and I could look at this table and say, create world, and if I'm playing Minecraft, all of a sudden the inside of the table would like fall through magically, and a Minecraft world would rise up from our table. Really cool. What's not really cool, they just announced a price point for the developer's kit.
$1,500.
No. The Oculus, their development kit was $300, and the final product was $700. But they're sending a free copy of the finished product to all the people who paid for the $300 development kit. Microsoft HoloLens development kit is debuting at $3,500. Now, if that says anything,
That's the down payment for my new car.
If you're comparing that to the price shift in the Oculus, we're looking at a $7,000 augmented reality gaming glasses thing. But
that's a day one purchase for me.
That's what I'm saying. But I don't think this is going to be a gaming utensil. I don't think that's what it's going to end up becoming.
It's going to be for like doctors doing surgery.
That's what I'm saying. Whenever you can look down at the person's body and you have this entire interface that's sitting there saying, this doesn't look right, you should probably double check this. Or like if you're working on a car and you're sitting there and it's like, this part should go here. You didn't do that right. You're a dumbass. I'm like, you're right. I am a dumbass. Thank you. Just wanted to briefly touch on that, and we'll follow that as it continues. We're going to move on and talk about some movies now for you folks.
Movies. Who
like the movies in the cinema. Something very important happened in the last couple of weeks, right?
Some award show.
With
I don't know.
Some naked dude, right? Or something like that. Did Neil Patrick Harris do that this year?
I have no idea. I didn't watch the
He used to do everything, and now he doesn't do anything, and it made me very upset.
No. What are we going to talk about? Are we going to talk...
Well, I think you saw a movie within the past couple of weeks, but
I saw 2 movies recently. One was Bad Words, thanks to HBO Go. It's a Jason Bateman movie. Mm-hmm. It's definitely rated R. So
of Arrested Development fame.
Yes. Yeah, Arrested Development. Let's see what else. Horrible Bosses.
Mm-hmm.
Hancock.
Mm-hmm.
He just came out.
He was in that, wasn't he?
Yeah, he was the annoyed guy that had to keep up with Will Smith the whole time.
Oh, it was like the insurance stuff, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, that was funny.
And he just came out in a movie called Zootopia. He plays like a fox character, which is a highly rated Disney movie. I think it got really good reviews.
The only actor who's allowed to play a fox is George Clooney.
Oh, what was that movie?
Fantastic Mr. Fox.
I haven't seen it.
It's a Wes Anderson film. It's absolutely amazing.
I'll have to check it out.
The casting in that is just, I think they also have Edward Norton's one of my favorite actors.
Yeah. Anyway, Bad Words. Funny movie, rated R. Would not recommend it for kids.
Oh.
It's very witty. I mean, you've seen Jason Bateman in Arrested Development. He's a good actor, but he actually directed this movie, and it was surprisingly good. It's about a 40-year-old man who finds a loophole and works his way into an 8th grade spelling bee competition. So he's just sitting there up on stage, insulting all these kids. I don't want to get into spoilers or anything, but it's pretty funny. It was kind of slow at first, but it's definitely worth a watch if you don't have anything better to do. And the second movie I watched last night.
I just looked over there for a moment because I remember whenever Bad Words came out, and I was very interested in it, and it getting very poor reviews.
Yeah.
So I just peeked
That's
over.
Why I said surprisingly.
Yeah, it's got a 57 on Metacritic and like a 6.4 or 64 on Rotten Tomatoes.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it didn't review very well,
No.
but you thought it was very funny.
Yeah.
Do you think there might have been any plot points in there that didn't follow through very well that people disliked, or was it the humor?
I purposely watch movies sometimes that don't get good reviews, and sometimes I'm like with Rubber.
Go ahead and say what you will about Rubber, and then I will talk about Rubber.
I don't know why I watched it. But I sat there glued to the screen the whole time. Surprisingly, I keep throwing that word out there. Back to bad words. Or you can say something.
I've seen Rubber 3 times.
Okay.
Each time it's showing someone new Rubber. Because I feel like everyone has to see Rubber at least once in their lives. It is... I hate stupid humor. I hate the Tim and Eric show. I hate... I do like John C. Reilly's segments on that show. I will say that. But I don't like that kind of humor. I don't like Tom Goes to the Mayor was not like... I couldn't get into that. That kind of humor's bad to me. And Rubber, I feel, is a movie that is almost written by those kind of people. But it gets me.
Satire all the way through.
Yeah. I loved it. I loved the entire thing.
I'm not trying to compare Bad Words to Rubber. Completely different movie. I mean, I felt like this movie had enough stuff in it that makes it a good movie. You see characters, they start off with bad morals, and they work their way up to good morals. It has heart, if you will. You know, they grow throughout the movie. That every movie needs something like that. For the first hour of the movie, now it's only an hour and a half long, so for the majority of the movie, you have no idea why he's doing it. And you can kind of guess. I figured it out.
This sounds a lot like Rubber.
Well, I guess. It's been a while since.
Yeah, the entire movie, you have no idea what the tire's doing. It's just rolling down the street. And it's just like, oh, I'm going to start murdering people. Spoilers.
He doesn't murder the kids at the spelling bee. Figuratively.
Figuratively.
He's destroying them because he is a genius. He's spelling out these words.
You keep furthering my point.
Yeah. Okay. Well, check out Bad Words if you have HBO or if you can rent it somewhere. Not that we have Blockbuster anymore.
Oh.
I wouldn't rent it off Amazon or anything.
Video
Warehouse.
Warehouse.
$6 for a 24-hour rental.
I was like, they all died.
Yeah, they did. You want to continue?
I mean, we can.
Show?
This is really somber at this point. I'm just kind of sad.
Just take a moment.
A moment of silence for
reflection.
Blockbuster and Video Warehouse.
Yes.
Yeah, so you saw The Martian.
The Martian. I finally saw it. Speaking of the Oscars, it was nominated for 7 of them. And sadly, Mad Max took most of their nominations. Mad Max won 6 Oscars, I think.
Yeah, so I heard a couple of conversations. People were kind of upset with the fact that Mad Max took all of these technical awards. Or basically, they have essentially, if you took all those awards and told somebody, hey, somebody won all these awards, what do you think they also won? Somebody say, oh, Best Picture.
No. Spotlight.
So people were upset because they were like, why not just give Best Picture to Mad Max and give Spotlight one of those other awards on something they did very good at? And it would also help give other movies awards and just give Mad Max the award they wanted. But the way that this polling process works is people have a list of things. They're like, oh yeah, Mad Max was good at this, but it's like, oh, but it's an action movie, so I'm not going to give it a check mark in the Best Picture category because it was an action movie.
Sometimes movies win the big 3, you know, which is, I believe, Best Acting, Best Movie, Best Directing. I could be wrong about that last one.
I feel like acting and technical stuff are separate.
Yeah.
Because
you got in front of the camera stuff and you got behind the camera stuff.
And I think all the behind the camera stuff has to do with Best Picture.
Yeah.
And because it doesn't matter if you have Leonardo DiCaprio, Tom Hanks, Morgan Freeman, and William Hurt all in the same movie. If it's filmed on a crappy,
If I'm filming it,
yeah, like it's going to be a bad movie. And so I kind of feel like some of those awards should have been spread out, but I didn't watch the Oscars.
I didn't either. I just saw the results. But The Martian, I thought it was a pretty good movie. Now the whole time I'm sitting there and I'm like, I do this at times with movies. Oh, this isn't going to be as good as Interstellar. Well, we got Matt Damon. He was in Interstellar. We got Jessica Chastain. She was in Interstellar. I guess they just like space movies.
Space.
But I do find the movie, it was a beautiful movie. I saw it in 3D thanks to my overspending on 3D projectors. It was nice. I don't know how they did the cinematography. Was the whole thing CGI? Or did they like go to Arizona and just fly a helicopter over and then change it. I don't know. I need to do some research in that. It was pretty. It was, though, for me, predictable.
Mm-hmm.
You know.
Well, I think do you know much about the book?
I never read the book. I know that he released it for free. What's his name? God, I'm so sorry, Mr. I don't.
We'll put it on the screen because this
Yeah.
person deserves the recognition. They're
He
very
does.
awesome. Also wrote for some video games or PC Gamer magazine, maybe.
Yeah.
I think I might be thinking of the wrong person. Probably am.
I know he released the book for free on his blog, and people were like, please release this in downloaded form. And he did. He released it for free for a little bit, but then he finally put it on Amazon where you could download it for the lowest price point, which was 99 cents. And then turns out it made this huge motion picture. They eventually released it in paperback form, I'm pretty sure.
So I'm now remembering the person that I was thinking of. I think is Gary Whitta. Worked for PC Gamer magazine and wrote the Book of Eli. This guy wrote for, I think, an actual video game. Very well known in the video games media and stuff like that. And this was his big, like, wait, what? This thing's taking off? Like, what's happening? He was very excited about it. They stuck very closely to the source material. But one of the things about the book is the entire story is him on Mars alone, just trying to survive. And a lot of people were like, oh, the trailer spoiled the whole movie. It's like, what are you talking about? The whole movie is him stranded on Mars. Like, you're not
Same
spoiling
thing.
anything. Like, it happens in the first 2 minutes of the movie.
Same thing when you go to watch Titanic. The trailer spoiled the movie. How do you not know what's going to happen?
That is true.
But
Throughout the, looking into the movie, I watched a bunch of YouTube videos about the science and stuff of it. Almost all the science in the movie is spot on, with the exception of
the storm.
the storm, the intro scene.
Which really surprised me. I'm sitting there watching it, and bam, which makes sense because most of the movie, like you're saying, he's alone. But at the Martian atmosphere is just too thin for that kind of storm. I was reading, it said that storm, if it did exist on Mars, the best it could do is ruffle your hair.
Yeah.
And it was threatening to blow over a 800-ton
Space shuttle
shuttle
that's using hydraulics to try to stay like level. And
oh yeah, I was on the edge of my seat.
Awesome scene.
Yeah.
Just scientifically not possible.
And the author did admit to it. He was like, that's the biggest inaccuracy of the movie, of my book. But, it wouldn't be that exciting.
Of all the things that he did get right, that was not a detail that was... pretty much he could have just come up with another story about why he got left behind.
He could have changed it to, there's a meteor shower. We're about to get hit.
But it was a fun opener.
Yeah,
it was a really fun opening for that
I'm not
movie.
dissing the movie.
So, your further thoughts?
It was a good movie. I enjoyed it. One of my favorite parts of the movie, though, like I was saying earlier, it's predictable. Sean Bean, or Scene Bean, or what?
Scene Bean. No, it's Sean Bean.
Yeah, I know. But anyway, he was there, and I'm like, predictable. He's going to die. I'm going to go ahead and spoil it for you. He didn't die. But the funnest thing was they presented this cloak and dagger meeting to reroute blah, blah, blah. Not going to ruin it. And it was called the Meeting of Elrond. And they're like, oh, what's Elrond? And here's Sean Bean sitting there, and he's like, oh, yeah, that's from Lord of the Rings. The, what was it called in Lord of the Rings, though? The Council of Elrond, where they're talking about destroying the One Ring. And, he's the first one. He's like, that's where that's from. Guess what? Boromir was there. He played Boromir.
Oh, God.
That was funny. I enjoyed that scene.
That's pretty funny. I didn't catch that. I didn't catch that Sean Bean was in it. I don't think I looked at him hard enough. Without long hair and a beard and a giant greatsword, it's really hard to...
Without him dying in some form.
he needs to be beheaded in at least every movie that he's in or a TV show. And if he's not, then what is he doing?
Yeah.
That's what he does.
Between him and William Hurt, or not...
Other people.
We're about to get interrupted.
By
I'm
what?
sorry.
What are we being interrupted by?
That.
It's a cavalcade. They're here.
Okay. Sorry for that interruption. We're back, though. And just for a split moment, is there anything else you want to talk about before we wrap up the show?
Nope.
Okay, well, I got a surprise for you. Have you ever seen the movie Seven?
Yes.
Remember, okay, I'm going to try not to spoil anything. Remember What's in the Box?
What's in the box?
We're going to play What's in the Box.
What's in the box?
Now, don't look at any of the writing on this.
Okay, I'm not allowed to look at the
Don't
writing
look
on the
at the
box.
TV either,
Okay,
because
don't
I'm going
look
to
at
show
the
them
TV.
something.
Okay, so I'm just gonna stare at the camera.
All right. What's in the box,
Am
Preston?
I supposed to open the box?
You're supposed to open it. There's a bag in the box, but you're going to guess.
What's in the bag?
What's in the bag?
Now, am I allowed to, like, pick up the bag,
Yes.
shake the bag? Okay. This bag.
It's making noise. What is
Oh
that?
my god, is this a bag full of ladybugs? Is this a million
It's
ladybugs?
not ladybugs. You want to take a peek inside?
Hell? What'd you order?
It's not mine. It's thanks to Jenny's sister. She left it here last night. And I told her to get that crap out of my house, and she left it here all night long.
What is this?
Just
I
don't
just don't
scream.
even...
Don't scream.
What the fuck? What the hell? This is like a nightmare bag.
She's got a pet lizard. His name is Randall. These are super worms.
Oh my god, they're
500 of them in there.
terrifying.
I kept having nightmares last night that they were
There's so
crawling all over
many.
me.
There's so many. I want to like move the paper around so I can see more of them,
There's
but
500 in there.
can we hold this up to the camera somehow?
I guess. You want to grab one?
Take the camera off the tripod and just stick it down in here.
Yeah.
Oh god, don't touch it.
Oh, there we go.
It's disgusting.
Look at this nasty
There are
thing.
500 of those in this bag.
Yes.
500.
They bite, so I'm going to put it back
Oh my
really
god,
quick.
yeah, he's trying to get out. They're all trying to get out. They're trying to escape.
Beat it against the wall! All right. Thanks, ladies and gentlemen, for not watching our show, because I know no one's doing
Oh, why would they?
it. No.
Why would they?
Until next week. Who's our guest next week?
Somebody.
No, it was someone famous. You told me the other day.
We're gonna.
physicist?
Oh, Neil deGrasse Tyson's gonna be on the
he's-
episode.
He's going to come in, and he's going to show us planets and stars and talk to us about why The Martian was a great movie.
Because he totally has the time to hang out with us.
I'm going to go throw this outside. Thank you.
I love you so much.
Once upon a time he was a mythical creature, always showing off his mythical features to ladies, centaurs, and other creatures too. So a crusty old wizard knew what he must do. He sent our best friend Dave from dimensions away without a genitalia and a working man's shave.